What's going on, Port fans? Welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we're reviewing round 15, Port Adelaide versus Sydney. Port Adelaide losing the game by 19 points in a terrible game of football. Now, I didn't watch all of this game due to me playing football myself, but from the second half, what I got to see was, the same old Port that just comes out and it's not quite good enough. Just goes back into their shells, misuses the footy, doesn't attack with pressure, lets the Swans walk it out of our defensive, attacking 50. Transition footy so easy. And yeah, this scoreline that we've got right now flattered us. Like, you can't tell me that 19 points is justifiable. And this will look good on paper, and it helps the percentage in a small way. Not that percentage is going to really matter for us going forward, but a game like this, you play the Swans at home, you have a great opportunity to go 3 on the trot after playing some very, very good football against the Giants and the D's in the last couple of weeks. You put out that performance. It's a typical Port Adelaide performance. It's a Port Adelaide performance that are smashed in contested areas, a misusage of the footy. I mean, the disposal efficiency was pretty even across the board, but I think that's probably obscured because of the Swans kicking 9 goals, 17. You know, around the ground, they were very, very good inside 50. They went at 60% efficiency when inside 50, and I think it was in the third quarter they had 3 inside 50s for majority of the first part of the quarter, and they had 2 goals won. They scored every time they went in. Port Adelaide 51% efficiency when they went inside 50 every time. You know, it was a demolition job by the Swans. They were just so efficient with the ball going forward, and they just, every time they had it, they were direct. They used it well. And our junk time goals at the back end of the last quarter, as I said, it gives us a bit of respect in a sense of the scoreboard. But yeah, this didn't look great. On paper, we were pretty even in terms of uncontested possessions, but contested possessions, 125 to 102. We had 57 turnovers to 43. It's just not good enough. Like, you're a skillful side. You have the silkiest of players, and you bloody misuse the footy like that. It's diabolical, and stupid mistakes coming out of defensive 50. These turnovers weren't just skill errors; it was where they were, and this is the direct problem. And Ryan Burton, I don't know why he takes the kick-ins. I don't know why that's been justifiable. Turns it over, burns it. Kane Farrell should be taking the kick-ins. At least if you're going to make a mistake, get it long and wide, not turn it over directly in front so Isaac Heaney can run into an open goal. It's small things like that. You just got to get right, and you just got to know who you are and what you're capable of. Ryan Burton had a terrible day. He was arguably one of the worst, and a lot of people have been quite frantic about him and the way he uses the footy. He had 21 possessions and he had 500 meters gained, 555 meters gained, which is a lot. But how many of those meters gained ended up coming back the other way anyway because he turned it over? Kane Farrell had the 20. Jace Burgoyne had the 20. They're only getting 300 meters gained. Like, it's things like this. Horn Francis couldn't get his game going. He only had 16 touches. There was a moment in the third quarter he had like 6 or 7, and he was really just running around the ground, but overall was shut out of the game. Josh Sin had a minimal impact, 15 touches, only 171 meters gained. Your half-backs are not having big impacts because they're not utilising the footy. It's this short chip game that we like to do and turn it over because we don't have the skill set. Miles Bergman had an off day, 14 touches. Our best player was Zach Butters. He had 28 touches and a goal, and he only had 392 meters gained. It's where we're turning it over. It's where we're using the footy. It's the pressure of the opposition in their forward half. We know Sydney are a good forward half side. They like to pressurise their opponent. They like to utilise what they have in speed and power and being able to, perfect representation is Isaac Heaney. So now we sit here and I don't know what's next. And that's what really grinds me. We live on the high of the last couple of weeks. Maybe, just maybe we're back. Or maybe, just maybe we have a little bit of hope of we can rest on, if we play well for the back half of the year, there's a chance of finals. But more importantly, you're keeping the likes of Miles Bergman and Zach Butters in your side, in your group, and you're keeping them from going and leaving. It's the worst year to be having a year like this because you'll have that talent right there. And it's not justifiable anymore. I'm sorry. I just don't think a lot of these performances are stacking up to the way it should be. And, I know that Ken is going to see out the year. I know he has to. And I know mathematically there's still a chance. There's 6 and 8. But it's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. We play Carlton and Brisbane the next 2 games. Carlton on Thursday night, a 5-day break after this one. And if you're having an off day after having a 6-day break against the Swans, imagine a 5-day break after the Blues lost to North. They're going to come out firing. I hope Port have the fire to say no. Because this is a grand stage. This is primetime Thursday night. So coming out of this game, you're thinking, where do we stand? What is this? What are we going to do from here? It's round 15. You've got 9 rounds to go. What do you want to achieve, Port Adelaide? That is the question you should be asking yourselves. What can you achieve from this year? What's going to keep your fans happy, the club happy? What's going to galvanise the group and get everyone to perform the way that we want to? We can't have 2 good weeks and then come out and play like this. It's just not consistent. I'm sick of the excuse of, we're just not consistent. Footy's not that hard to be consistent. I don't understand. And there was a couple of moments in the third quarter that we really had an opportunity to get back into gear. We had Connor Rozee have a set shot on goal, 40 out probably, slide angle, should be slotting it. Joe Richards on the siren at 3/4 time could have brought us back within 2 goals. Momentum swings, crowd roars, you get back into the final quarter, and there's hope. Now, smacks it right into the post, and it's 4-6-30, and your confidence is blown. It's things like that we just have never matured, never been able to make that next step, and we never will under Ken Hinkley. And I'm okay with that because a fresh start with Josh can set the new standard. But a day like yesterday, where you absolutely dominated right around the ground and the scoreline is fluttering you, and you play 2 ruckman and Jeremy Finlayson's the sub, because Joe Berry pulled out sick. I don't understand why Trav's not playing, and I know people will sit there and go, "Oh, well, Trav's he's done, he's finished." Shut up. He might be at the end of his career, but he's still going to do 150% more than others on this list that are sitting out there right now, just clogging up the list spot, playing out there for the sake of it. And we were out-coached by Dean Cox. We were outplayed on the field. We made the wrong choice at selection with 2 ruckmen. Brody Grundy destroyed us. I would have just gone Dante on his own, to be honest. But, we have an out-of-form Ollie Lord in the Sandford. We don't have a fit Jack Lukosius. We've got a Mitch Georgiadis doing everything solo. He kicked 1 goal, 3. It's just really frustrating. It's a really frustrating loss, this one, because it brings you back to gravity. Gravity brings you back down to the floor. I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm sore. A little bit hungover. And I'm doing this review because I need to get some things off my chest. And we lost. Simple as that. The season, the false hope. It's the hope that gets you. It's Port Adelaide, really, isn't it? Well, Port fans, let me know in the comments below your thoughts, what you thought about the game, if you were there. Obviously looked like a decent crowd, which was good. And we have one more home game now next week against Carlton before we go back to and we go back to, going away again. It's going to be fun. But anyway, we'll see how we go next week. Time to move on. Fresh start. And I hope you enjoyed the review. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you're new for plenty more Port Adelaide and AFL content to come your way. My name's Anthony. And as always, count the pair.